Hey, what is up, everybody? Solid day again yesterday. We just barely missed the sweep. Mr. Jaylen Brunson himself missed by 0.5. That is tough. I watched the entirety of that game yesterday from, tip off to the final whistle. The Warriors went into a zone, and Jaylen Brunson, instead of just shooting the basketball, that's how you get people out of a zone. You shoot them out of a zone. He kept just trying to attack the zone. They were in a 3-2, and he kept just trying to attack it. And that's, not really how you attack a zone. You got to get the ball moving on the arc, and you got to shoot them out of that zone. Obviously, the Mavs, of course, last night, and the Warriors, really, they were all struggling from three. They could not hit a shot to save their lives. Maxi Kleber was like 0 for 9. Reggie Bullock was like 0 for 10. It was crazy. I like to evaluate when I make a pick and sometimes why they miss. Brunson had 20. I think the real reason why he missed was because Spencer Dinwiddie was just a lot more aggressive offensively. Spencer Dinwiddie had 26 yesterday. And Brunson was just really looking more to just drive and kick. He wasn't really being all that aggressive as far as scoring the basketball goes. He had 12 in the first half. Just really didn't feel like scoring in the second half, I guess. It doesn't help too when Luka had 20 in the fourth. So Luka was also taking a lot of shots too. But when you look at the averages, Brunson averaged 20 shots a game. He only took 12 last night because because Spencer Dinwiddie took 13 of those shots. So Spencer Dinwiddie did take a couple of shots away from Brunson, but that's a tough one on the Jaylen Brunson hits. Kevon Looney was no sweat. I think he hit a couple minutes into the third quarter, and Wiggins went bananas. From the poster on Luka to just getting every single rebound in the game. Happy I went with points and rebounds yesterday. I know he hit his points line as well, but points and rebounds went crazy yesterday. So 2-in-1 day yesterday. Also, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you probably should because my USFL picks swept yesterday. So USFL hit like crazy. I also posted a 5-slip on Instagram. I ended up missing because Draymond fell 1 assist short. Reggie Bullock did go under on his boards. But of course Brunson did miss. So I threw up a couple extra picks on Instagram yesterday. If you guys want to check out Instagram and want to follow me on Instagram, it's definitely the place to be. Because yesterday I did throw up a couple of extra picks on there. So had a pretty successful day yesterday. USFL was a clean sweep. And let's get to today's picks. Real quick, if you guys are new to Underdog Fantasy, make sure that you there's a link down in the description I have that automatically takes you to the App Store where you can download Underdog Fantasy. Also throws in my TAKEMYSHOT code when you guys sign up for that. So when you make your first deposit, it helps me out big time, as well as it gives you a 100% deposit match up to $100. So if you throw in $20, for example, you'll get actually $40, and they'll give you another $20 free just to bet on for funsies, a little risk-free bets for fun. And so that is always nice as well to get those risk-free bets. Also helps me out, like I said, big time if you guys use my code TAKEMYSHOT. Because all my picks every single day are always going to be Underdog Fantasy picks. I think it's the best player prop betting app out there. With that being said, now let's get to today's picks. All right, coming in hot with today's lock of the day. It's going to be coming from a Boston Celtics. Give us the off guard. Give us Jaylen Brown today over 35.5 point or PRA. Jaylen Brown has hit this all 3 games of the series with 37 PRA, 35 PRA, and 50 PRA in that last game. Also, another line I really liked a lot was his rebounds line. It's set at just 7.0 today. In his last 4 games, he's had 8 rebounds, 10 rebounds, 8 rebounds, and 9 rebounds. That one's a really solid one. I bet on that one the other day as a single odds bet. I like that one too. If they were to drop a points and rebounds bet, I would really like that one. But we're going to set up with a PRA bet today. I like Jaylen Brown today. When they really talk about where the Heat's defensive attention is going to be on, it's going to be on Tatum, right? PJ Tucker absolutely harassed him last game. And Jimmy Butler's status is kind of up in the air. Not as far as him playing. He's going to play. And that's not the problem with Jimmy Butler. Last game, he didn't have, per se, a knee injury. It's the soreness thing that's coming in for him. It's a fact that as he's playing, as he's moving, as he's running, as he's cutting, the soreness starts to build, right? So that's why at halftime, the soreness got too bad and he couldn't play the rest of the half. There's a good chance that could happen again. There's not a chance that he's not going to play the game. He's going to play the game. But the soreness could build up, and then boom, they lose Jimmy Butler. They lose another defensive factor. So I like the chances for Jaylen Brown today over 35.5. He's been rebounding like a madman. He's been their biggest consistency on offense. Of course, had that last game where he had 40. I expect another big game from him tonight while they're still at home in Boston. So I like Jaylen Brown today as our lock of the day, 35.5 PRA. All right, next bet of the day is going to be coming from the Miami Heat. Give us Bam Adebayo over 16.5 points here. I know last game was kind of a anomaly compared to how he's been playing. Obviously, that 31-point game was an explosion game for him. No, Jimmy Butler had a big factor in that. Obviously, because he became the number 1 scoring option. But really, the big factor there was no Robert Williams. That changed everything. The the All-NBA second teamer for the Boston Celtics, didn't play in that game. He's questionable for tonight. I doubt he plays again tonight. No Robert Williams changes everything. I kind of want to see with this pick what the status ends up being with Robert Williams. If he plays, I'll probably swap this one out for an under on Jason Tatum's assist. But if he does play, we'll stick with this one. So you're going to want to follow me on Instagram to kind of stay up to date with what happens there. So I like Bam Adebayo tonight over 16.5. Just much more aggressive is exactly what they've been asking him to do. Attack the basket, shot the ball fantastically. Just looked to score right out the gate. I think he had 10 right out the gate, just bam, in like the first 5 or 6 minutes of that game. I expect him to be super aggressive again tonight. If there's no Robert Williams, I like it today over 16.5 for Bam Adebayo. And our last play of the day is going to be coming from the defensive player of the year. Give us Marcus Smart over at his 25.5 PRA today. His last 6 games, he's absolutely obliterated his line. 28, 20 was his only miss he had so far recently. He had 28, 20, 33, 28, 45, and 27 PRA. He's been absolutely crushing his PRA line. When you think about it, he does everything, right? He gets the occasional bucket, averages at, anywhere between 14 to 17, sometimes even touches 20 points. He's been rebounding the ball super aggressively, as well as he's obviously their primary ball handler when it comes to passing the ball. We took his assist last game. Looked like it wasn't going to hit, but then it ended up hitting. So he does everything for this Celtics team. If Jason Tatum continues to get shut down by PJ Tucker and Jimmy Butler, expect him to try to be a little bit more aggressive offensively, look to score a little. So I like Marcus Smart over 25.5 PRA today. Like I said last video, though, too, Celtics are averaging 15 threes a game at home. They average an insane amount of points at home. They shoot the ball much better at home. I anticipate them to not play as bad as they did that last game. They absolutely went cold last game. They were able to turn it up in the second half thanks to Jaylen Brown. But I like the chances for the whole entire team to kind of get going better offensively this game. There's no way they have back-to-back bad home games. When they got blown out by the Celtics in that first home game for them last series, they came back and bounced back in a huge way. So I like Marcus Smart today to bounce back and get a lot more assists and then involve his teammates a lot more, and him to look to be a little bit more aggressive offensively. So I like Marcus Smart tonight over 25.5 PRA. Which means it's time for the perfect 3-slip, which our lock of the day is Jaylen Brown today over 35.5 PRA. Give us Bam Adebayo over 16.5 PRA, and give us Marcus Smart over 24.5 PRA. Remember, you're going to want to follow me on Instagram. It's just TAKEMYSHOT Sports to see what ends up happening with Bam Adebayo, because it might end up being, right till game time. But I kind of want to figure out what the status is for Robert Williams. If there's no Robert Williams, we'll go Bam Adebayo. If there is Robert Williams, we're going to go under on Jason Tatum's assist today. So I locked that in today as our perfect 3-slip. And with that being said, guys, it's going to wrap up today's video. Make sure, we talked about it yesterday, so I'll bring it up one more time here today. Make sure we're not just betting parlays today. Don't just bet these players on a 3-slip. Also bet them individually. Yesterday, I put a good amount on Jaylen Brown, so I did fall behind a little bit yesterday, on Jalen Brunson. So I did fall behind just a little bit yesterday because I thought Jalen Brunson would have a bigger game. But thanks to my USFL hip, it brought us right back up. But I bet everything individually did yesterday. Reggie Bullock hit, Kevon Looney, Jalen Brunson missed, but Wiggins hit. So make sure you're betting things individually on odds. Don't just put them on parlays. But with that being said, guys, I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.